As Canada prepares to mark the 36th anniversary of the Polytechnique massacre next week, questions are being raised once again over Ottawa's record on gun control.
Closed. We're analyzing the results of the pilot by all accounts. The technical capabilities have been satisfied, and we are looking forward to rolling out the program across Canada over the coming weeks.
Public Safety Minister Gary Anne-Marie responding to the reports of low participation in the gun buyback program pilot in Cape Breton. Meanwhile, advocates are warning about gaps in Canada's gun control laws in a letter to Prime Minister Mark Carney. For more on those concerns, we're joined this morning by Heidi Rathjen, survivor of the Polytechnique massacre. She is a spokesperson for Police Souvent. Good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
So on Sunday, Anne-Marie confirmed that the gun buyback program will be rolling out across the country. An RCMP official is telling the Toronto Star that the number of guns collected through the program was underwhelming. So how confident are you that this program is ready to expand on a national level?
Well, I think what the pilot project did, according to what the minister did say, is that all the glitches were worked out. So technically, it passed the test and it's ready to be rolled out across the country. Our concern is that the ban on assault weapons is not complete. So there's one model, a very versatile model that has different modern versions, the Soviet SKS. It remains legal. And that means that if it's not prohibited by the time money gets paid out to gun owners who surrender their prohibited assault weapons, they could just take the money and turn around and buy a new assault weapon. So the public safety objectives will not be met, and the money that taxpayers are paying to get rid of these assault weapons will be a waste of money. So we're sounding the alarm that before it gets rolled out, they have to deal with the SKS, and that has been something that we've raised for a long time, and there's still no news about what's going to happen with respect to that weapon.
It has been almost 1 year since Ottawa added hundreds of new guns to its list of banned weapons. Your organization says that the SKS rifle should be on that list for the reasons that you've outlined. This buyback program, you're saying, is ineffective. What would be the change that you're looking for?
Well, at the very least, to prohibit new sales of SKS so that the buyback doesn't become a waste of money. Yeah, so that's the SKS is a weapon that is actually most used in mass shootings and shootings of police in Canada. We know that it's a very popular weapon. It is often used by hunters because it was a very cheap weapon when it came into the country, but it's still literally an assault weapon. So there could be a special case that those that are in circulation could be grandfathered. Maybe the more modern version that resemble AR-15s could be part of the buyback. That could be worked out. But in the meantime, until when the money starts coming out, that's when at least new sales need to be prohibited.
We have a new Prime Minister since this time last year. You have written a letter to Prime Minister Carney saying, in part, it would be disingenuous and even hypocritical for you and your Liberal caucus MPs to wear white ribbons or participate in memorial events across Canada commemorating victims of the femicides at Polytechnique, given the government's record on gun control. So let me ask you, as a survivor, what do you need to hear from this Prime Minister ahead of the anniversary?
Well, it's important to know that what we're referring to, especially, I mean, the buyback is coming very late, right? It was supposed to be launched in 2020 and completed in 2022, and it hasn't even been launched yet. So we're extremely late. But more importantly, the measures in C-21, the bill that was being debated and it passed in December of 2023, 2 years ago. The most important key measures that it contains are measures to remove firearms from domestic abusers. And these measures, passed 2 years ago, have still not been implemented. And it's incredible and unbelievable to me and to the women's groups that have worked to obtain this victory, that even when we win, we lose because these measures their implementation keeps being postponed, they keep being weakened, and it's like they're forgotten. And so Last year, at exactly this time, I was in Ottawa with a coalition of 50 women's groups and other relatives of victims of femicides. Brian Sweeney, who was the father of Angie Sweeney, and Tara Graham, who's the daughter of Brenda Tadlock Burke, both murdered in the context of domestic violence with guns. Both said that had these measures been in place, that their loved ones would probably be alive. And back then, a year ago, we were urging the government to please hurry up and implement these measures. Yeah. And now we're a year later, and there hasn't been any discernible progress. It's like they've been forgotten. So when we say the optics are bad, I mean, they are bad because you have these politicians, liberal politicians, who embrace all the symbolisms of the anniversary commemorating the victims, but are not doing what they need to do to concretely prevent new victims with measures that we fought for, that we obtained, that they passed, that they boasted about during the election, and yet, women and children continue to die in context of domestic violence with firearms, while we know that the presence of a firearm in cases of intimate partner violence means that there's 12 times more likely for this violence to end up with a death than if a firearm is not in the home. So these are critical measures, effective measures that protect women and children, and we keep waiting for them to be implemented. And so it's very difficult for us, again, at an anniversary to see, to again have nothing but promises, empty promises, but no actual action to change the things on the ground. The only thing, we had, there's been years of debate about gun control and regulations and legislation passed under the Trudeau government, and more promises under the Carney government. And the only thing that's really changed, substantially changed in terms of meaningful measures on the ground, is the freeze on new handgun sales. But every other major measure that was promised or passed, including banning large capacity magazines or making sure that it's the RCMP, not the gun industry, that classifies new weapons that come on the market, all the domestic violence measures, they're still not implemented. Nothing has really changed.
Heidi, you're right. The conversations have been had. The evidence is there. The promises have been made. Let's hope that the urgency to get special projects approved also applies to what you're asking for as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.